Yanks and Red Sox tonight, and we welcome in the skipper of the Red Sox, Terry Francona. Skip, how you doing today? Everything good up there in Boston?
Good, Mike. Well, you don't mess around. You call in and you get right on. I like that.
We do. We told
you guys are good.
They said, listen, he's got 10 minutes. Keep it to 10, and let's go. So away we go. First of all, I appreciate it. Number two, you did a great job with the All-Star game. I thought the way you treated the Yankee guys, Mariano, Derek, and A-Rod, was very classy on your part.
Well, thanks. You know, I was actually disappointed. We tried to have the moves correspond, you know, where the people upstairs knew, and it didn't come across quite as, you know, maybe as well as we wanted. But I thought we needed to recognize the Yankee guys, and I think they appreciate it. I just wanted to let the fans show their appreciation and let the players in return show their appreciation. I hope it worked. Again, you do the best you can.
You did. I mean, listen, they went to commercial about 10 seconds into Mariano leaving the bullpen, but that's their fault. But, you know, it did. It was a nice part on your part. The other thing about that, I wonder, is were you sweating it as you went through these extra innings, thinking about putting a position? What was the number for Kazmir? How many pitches could he have thrown?
I don't know, and that created a lot of anxiety. There's no way to get around that. I mean, we were up against it. Now, the thing I think that helped us a little bit was we felt like the National League might be up against it before we did. At least that's the hope.
Right.
But it was not comfortable. And I've talked to Mr. Selig about it after the game and had a really good talk because the game was awesome. And you know, I'm sure that people watching it thought it was great.
It was a great game.
And I was honored to be a part of it. It just created a lot of anxiety at the end because you don't want something to happen that gets in the way of, you know, whether you say respecting the game or the outcome of the game. And I was worried about that. But fortunately, it didn't come down to that for all parties because that would have been a kind of a sad ending to an unbelievable game.
It was a great game, and you were a big part of it. Now let's get to tonight. And first, Manny. Is Manny back in the lineup tonight?
I think so. We got him in there. Now, again,
okay.
Unless something crazy happens, I think we're all set.
All right. And Big Poppy's back tonight, too, right?
He just strolled in with a big smile on his face carrying about 4 bats, so that was good to see.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. And, you know, when you look at your team right now, you come off that trip. Obviously, you've been great at home. You got a lot of home games the rest of the way. What's your big picture look at your team right now when you think about the rest of the season?
Oh, my God, I really don't know. We have been not good enough on the road. We've been really good at home. There's not been a lot in between. Now, you know, the good part of that is we've been better at home than we've been worse on the road. But to ultimately, you know, get where we want to, we probably have to do better on the road. Now, you know, we went to Seattle and played we played a lot of close games on the road. We won 3 close ones up in Seattle. We lost 3 close ones against Anaheim. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster for us. But you know what? Saying that, it's been that way for the whole league. Nobody can stay away from losing streaks, and we're included in that.
No question. And the Angels, who the Yankees have 10 games left, boy, they really beat you some crazy games.
They did. They came back, and, you know, again, it's happened all over the league. Nobody can stay away from a losing streak, and it makes it difficult because we come home and we win, and then we go right back on the road and we give it away. But other teams have done the same thing. It's been tough.
Now, Dice K, what's his situation? Is he healthy?
Yeah, he's throwing the ball good. His hits per innings are almost a joke.
Right.
But he's mixed in a lot of walks with those hits. He's created some tough innings for himself, but he's pitched out of them. His ERA's, you know, bordering low 2s, got a bunch of wins and only 1 loss.
So you're not worried about anything with him physically? You think he's okay?
No, I'll tell you what, physically looks good. He came out of the chute and threw the ball real well.
Okay. Now, you know, the other thing that really has picked it up for you, I mean, to go as long as you have. Now, everyone's had injuries, but, you know, everyone's thought the Red Sox are, you know, running along. You played a long time without Ortiz, but, boy, did Drew pick it up. You talk about a guy who turned his year around in the postseason last year, but, boy, he's played great for you guys this year.
Yes, he has. And there's probably a few reasons. One, I think he's more comfortable here. 2, you know, I mean, there were some things that were going on with his children, and I don't know if he wants you to talk about it or not, or me, but they were happening. And some guys deal with things off the field better than others. And he's healthy. He's played a huge part and us hanging in there. And I mean, because when David went out, he jumped into that 3-hole.
Went crazy.
And he had a massive month.
He won Player of the Month, yeah.
Yeah, well, and it was deserved. And it wasn't just his hitting; it was his base running, his outfield play. He played good. It was, and we needed it.
What's your thoughts as the Yankees come in there and they've kind of held off what they had to hold off? They're probably going to have to go it the rest of the way without Posada and Matsui. But what's your thoughts about this Yankee team right now?
Well, I thought it was kind of easy for people to write them off, which I don't think we ever for 1 minute thought would ever happen. They're too good. You know, their lineup's starting to get hot. You take the average pitcher and they kind of beat them around, and you kind of figured out what happened. Now again, hopefully we'll have our way with them. That's just being honest. I think we always get their best. We expect it. Hopefully we'll give our best back. And
we're talking with Terry Francona as the Yankees and the Red Sox get ready to do battle. The back of the pen, Mr. Papelbon, who had a lot to say back here at the stadium. Be interesting to see how, your guys might be a little revved up tonight. I think some of them didn't think the Yankee fans treated them that well, so that'll be fun. I think that'll be fun to see what the reaction is.
I think, you're talking about the parade and some of the way our guys were received, and maybe even myself.
Right.
I don't know that I took that real personally. Maybe I should. I think the thing with Pap, some of that was unfortunate. I mean, I think that, sometimes, and we've talked to Pap, I said sometimes the worst thing in the world is having a filter isn't the worst thing. But saying that, when you look at what Pap actually said, that was probably a little unprofessional on somebody's part. And I think you probably agree. I mean, he paid Mariano some pretty big compliments that seemed to go by the wayside. And then, again, the fans get a hold of it and it gets a little
I agree.